Well, have you ever tried to drive a car without tires? Don't try that.
That's a bad idea. Tires are critical to getting from A to B, so when something's wrong, yeah, it's concerning. And two of our questions today relate to tires.
Right here, welcome to 2017, Peter Fink. Good to see
Peter.
you.
Hey,
Good
Happy
morning.
New Year. Off to a
Happy New
good
Year
start,
to
you know, and everything.
Yes.
Hopefully
So far,
everyone else out there.
We're like 4 days in. We've got this. So
There you
we're
go.
gonna do
All
this.
right.
On this way
Yeah.
through it. Let's get to, we got a few questions for you this morning.
Great.
Let's get to,
All
the
right.
first one comes from Corey. Corey's question is, seems like I'm losing tire pressure like crazy now that the weather is colder. Anything I can do to prevent that? And I've had this going on in my Explorer too. My tire sensors show that it needs a little inflation.
You know, I think obviously the new cars got the tire sensors, okay, to say this probably has been going on ever since tires have been invented, okay? But it does seem to be a little worse, okay? And I heard that because of the different materials they use for the rims of the cars, in the old days it was steel or aluminum, okay, kind of, or it was a cast aluminum. Now they've got so many different things, okay? And then they're using different materials on the roads, okay, as far as salt and this new liquid stuff or whatever. And I've heard from the tire guys, now I don't do tires, okay,
sure.
but I mean, I've heard from the tire guys that what happens is the beads are getting corroded on the rims, okay, and then they're going to leak. The other thing I've heard is that air, normal air that we use, compressed air for tires, is going to, obviously it does expand and contract as it gets colder. That's just normal. They've come out with nitrogen. I've heard with nitrogen that it helps not have the rims corrode so bad. And what's leaking is at the beads, okay? My wife's Lexus did this, and it was on and on and on, and we brought it back to the tire place 3, 4, 5 times. Finally, they did get it sealed up, okay? It is a little bit of a problem, okay? They need to really clean the rims, okay, when they mount some new tires. There is some sealer you can put on it when they mount it also, and nitrogen definitely helps. Then you won't get the fluctuation near as much. I suspect it really has always been going on, but we're more aware of it because of the tire sensors, okay, and stuff, you know. So I'd get it back to the tire store. They need to clean the rims better and treat the beads on it and reseat it, and it should probably work.
About a month ago, I properly inflated my tires, and already the sensor has gone off.
Okay.
The colder
Yep.
weather is.
Yeah, that's more
frustrated
than just the air. I mean, you've got an actual leak on one of the beads most likely, and
it
probably
checked
got to
out.
get it to a tire store. They're going to have to break the tire down and clean that and put it on. Okay.
Gotcha.
You know, new cars don't seem to be quite as susceptible the first couple of years, but as they get older, so I
time.
think there is a lot to be said about that corrosion building up on the rims.
And you've talked to us before about the importance of having properly inflated tires. So
Oh,
it's not, you know,
it's
I mean, it's a headache
by
if you're
far
going to babysit it.
and it's
but-
cold out and the wind's blowing and it's never convenient and everything and stuff, but it is. I mean, obviously that's the only thing touching the ground, and proper tire inflation can cause a blowout, you know. I mean, losing control if it's a front tire, very hard to steer, I mean, and everything. So the tire sensors is a good thing. It's kind of a pain, but I mean, we got to have proper level, okay, and
Okay,
stuff.
so thank you, Corey and Mike, for your questions. Our next, we're packing 4 in, essentially, here.
Right.
Our next question, though, this one's from TJ. The clutch in my 1998 Ford Contour is slipping. Could air in the slave cylinder cause that?
Well, I'll give you the short answer and then the long answer, okay?
'cause this is a
the short
transmission
answer
deal,
is
right?
no, the air in the slave cylinder can't cause a clutch to slip. If you had air in your slave cylinder or the master cylinder, what would happen is it wouldn't disengage, okay, because the pedal would be real easy and does nothing because you can't compress air. As we were just talking about, you can keep always building more and more pressure, okay, and stuff. Fluids you can't compress, okay, and so if you had air in it, your clutch pedal wouldn't work and you actually couldn't shift and everything else. If it's slipping, then the clutch is either bad or the throwout bearing isn't disengaging, and sometimes we've seen on some of them older cars, the collar where the throwout bearing rides on gets wore out and it cocks and it won't go back anymore, okay, and stuff. Hopefully it's not that, because some transmissions have removable collars, some of them don't, okay, and stuff. But either way, the transmission is going to have to come out on this one and open it up, see what you got. And
Gotcha.
it might be more than just a clutch, okay, and stuff. So
That's not good news.
no, it is not.
And that's a
It's
very
gonna be-
technical question, too. Did you know what the slave cylinder was?
no idea.
No idea. Thanks for clarifying
But
that.
props to TJ for throwing it at us.
Exactly what it
Yeah.
was. Our final question comes from Brian. My 2005 Suzuki Forenza shakes at 55 miles per hour, then doesn't when I go faster than 55. I recently had 4 new tires put on. There was no shake before the new tires. Do you think they were put on wrong?
I don't think they've been put on wrong, but they obviously weren't balanced correctly, okay? Putting on wrong, I'm thinking you mean mounting them, okay, as far as with the lug nuts and stuff, okay? I don't think that's going to be the case. It's going to be that they didn't balance the tires right, okay, for some reason. Either the machine was off or it had an extra weight on it and somebody knocked it off, didn't follow the instructions on the machine. You got a tire that's out of balance. Definitely bring it back to the place that mounted the tires. Tell them, hey, I need to get this checked. You need to check the rebalancing on them. I would have them check all 4 of them. Well, it should be free if you just got tires, okay? I mean, unless you didn't pay for balancing the first time, okay? I guess, you know, I think they do offer you that choice. Do you want them balanced? And the answer always should be yes, okay?
Yes,
It shouldn't even be a question. It should be just part of the job, okay,
Right.
to be honest with you. But if you didn't pay for it, then you will have to pay for it. But if you did pay for it, then I would say it needs to be redone. I've had it happen to me, I mean, where it wasn't quite right, or even after a few miles and the tire, I don't want to say seats in or whatever, but I've had them start vibrating a little bit and had to have them rebalanced afterwards, okay? So go back to the tire store. I'm sure they'll take care of you. So.
Are there any risks long-term to driving? I mean, the annoyance of driving while your car's shaking, I mean, that's it. But then if you let it go on too long, what happens?
You know, it's going to shake stuff loose. I mean, eventually it could cause some other damage. I mean, you know, it depends how bad it shakes. I mean, are we just talking a little bit, or I mean, we talking a lot?
Are your teeth chattering? Right.
Yeah. I mean, you know, and most people, if they can feel it, it's probably pretty bad, okay, and stuff.
Enough to write in.
And it
ask
can be.
the
It's like when you get snow stuck in the wheel well.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And you get speeds up and your
you
steering
can
wheel's
feel
vibrating.
it then. Yeah, you see it all the time or hear about it all
Can't wait
the
for
time.
that.
Wait,
to
that's
come.
coming. That's
That's
right
gonna
around
be
the
great.
corner. CertifiedTransmission.com is the website you can go to for all things transmission.
right.
5 area locations. Peter Fink, great to see you. Happy New Year.
And please
Thank
give
you.
our best to Amanda and the whole family.
We'll do that.
Thank
All
you.
right. To you
and
guys
your
also, the
question,
viewers.
yes.
Yeah.
Well,
All right.
we love them, don't we, at home? The 3 of us are sitting here, but not without our friends at home. Your question could be featured during our next visit with the crew from Certified Transmission, and a few ways to get those questions to us. Email talkback@omahamorningblend.com or leave questions on our Facebook wall. The hub for all of it is omahamorningblend.com.
Well, still to come, a game